Hi, in this video we'll see how we can use Amazon CloudFormation service to automate server and service deployment. So to start with, we click on services and we click on CloudFormation. In CloudFormation we will create a new stack, and we don't have any stack at this moment, as you can see on the screen. By creating a stack, we will tell AWS that we want to create a sample WordPress website, and for that we need a virtual machine or an instance, and the software that we need, and everything that we need. We have seen in previous tutorials that we need to separately launch EC2 instances, and we need to install web server, and we need to create the key pair, and everything we needed to do manually. Here, by using CloudFormation and creating a stack, we can tell AWS by using a template that we want to create this service and we want to use these resources. For example, we want to create a WordPress website, and the resources that we need: a key pair, we need a virtual machine or virtual server, we need everything that we need. We can just tell AWS that this is what we need, and AWS will automate that task for us. So for that, first we click on create new stack, and here we start the wizard of creating the stack. So here we have different options. In this tutorial we'll use existing template from AWS. So if we look here, select a template, sample template, we can select from drop down list. There are different templates. I'll come back to this after a while. And we can also upload a template. If we have created our own template, we can upload, or we can specify an Amazon S3 template URL to point to the template. We will discuss in detail about templates in some other tutorial. For the time being, a template is that file, the text file, where we give specific instructions, where we just simply tell AWS that, okay, this is what we want, these are the resources that we want, and some other parameters. So we give here, instead of creating an instance, instead of installing web server, we just tell AWS that we want to create an instance, we want to install a web server, we want to use these resources, and we want to achieve that. And we just give the instruction, and the whole thing is automatically taken care of by AWS. So let's see how it does. So once again, for the time being, we understand template is the instruction file where we tell what AWS should do for us instead of doing it by ourselves, instead of doing it manually. So let's select an existing template from here. Let's say we are looking for a single instance and we want to create a WordPress blog. Now, as you can see that the moment I selected this template, the URL automatically populated here. One thing we must be careful when we manually input any URL, if we were specifying any URL here, that this URL should must be in the region where you are working. At this moment I'm working Asia Pacific Southeast region 2, and if you look carefully, that AWS automatically selected the template from the same region. It must be in the same region, as you can see here and here. If they do not match, then it will yield an error and you won't be able to create this tag. However, so we selected the WordPress blog. That's what we want to create, and I will click on next. Now here, we have 4 steps here, if you follow my cursor, and we are on the second step, specify detail. Is tag name, let's say test WordPress stack. You can give any name, but it's always better to give a useful name. So DB password, I'll give some password. Let me keep that password secret. You need to choose your own password. And I gave the root password, and you can see the description here that the database name was populated by I'll keep the default one. I supplied the DB root password and DB password, database password, and now I need to select the username. Let's keep it as you cannot see here, but I gave the username as user, USER. And instance type, okay, let me choose T2 micro. It's up to you, depending on your requirement. You can choose T2 micro is the one I'm choosing. And key name, you need to have existing key pair that we have seen in some earlier tutorials, how to create key pair. And you will see that for this region, this is the key pair that we have, which is automatically came in the drop down list. So I'm selecting my key pair, and I'll keep it as a default setting because I want to access it from anywhere. And now I'll click next. We can create tags here for our own convenience. It is not necessary to create, but the way we created tags in EC2 instances, we can create here. So we can probably say that stack WP, for example, or maybe say chest stack. IAM role, we'll leave it for the time being, and in the tutorials where we cover IAM, we will see in detail what is IAM. But for the time being, we will leave this as this is optional, and we won't worry much about IAM. We'll learn about IAM in relevant tutorials. Rollback triggers and everything I'll keep as default. As we learn more and more, we can come back to see the advanced options, but for the time being I will just leave them. I'll click next, and here you see the review of the templates and everything. You can also estimate the cost, and after reviewing, if everything is fine, if we're happy with all the settings that we have created, which is okay for me, I'll just click create. And now here we see it is not empty anymore on the CloudFormation dashboard. This is my stack, and as you can see, the creation is in progress. It will take some time to have the stack created. We'll see from this status. So while the creation is in progress, let's look into some of these tabs. As you can see here, the status, the creation is in progress, and if we go on overview, we can see an overview, what the name of this tag is, and other descriptions, as we didn't, those optional parameters that we did not specify coming as blank. Outputs is not available yet, but later on we'll see that here we'll have the link to our WordPress website that we're creating by using the template. Resources, in this tag we are creating a WordPress website, and for that we need the resources. And we have seen in our EC2 tutorial that we when we create an instance, we mention or we specify the security group. We have seen that we used key pair. We mentioned that key pair, and here you will see all the resources that we will use for this stack. In this case, the creation of a web server security group. The security group is complete, and the web server instance creation is in progress, and this is what is, you see the instance ID. And events is where we can see what is going on while the stack is being created. And by now, as you can see, the status has been changed, that create complete. If for some reason it could not be completed, then we would get some other status. It would show an failed status. So here you can see the date when I'm creating the stack, at the time, my time zone, and the creation complete or failed. In this case, we don't have any failed status, so you can see from events tab. Now this tab is something that we said we will learn in some other tutorial, but for the time being, template, this is the file where we instructed AWS that okay, these are the things that we need, and do it automatically. We don't want to do it manually. So here for example, we have parameters where we needed a key, and also we, in this template, in this file, we have what type of instance we need, and SSH location, for example, how we are going to access, and WordPress database and user, and so on. So all the resources we need, all the parameters that we would require to create this stack for the WordPress blog site, and the resources that we will be using, everything that we specify here. And for the time being, that should suffice for us to talk about templates. So we won't worry much at this moment for the time being, as we have seen that, and we're discussing that template is the source file where we have the instructions from instances, from resources to parameters, security groups, everything that we needed to create the stack. And these are the instructions that we use and tell AWS that hey, these are what we need. Please create all this automatically. And here the parameters, if you as you have seen in our previous step where we have mentioned some parameters like database name, your password, database username, and other parameters you can see here. Tags, we created that tag, so you can see everything here, and all the details about the stack we have just created. And as we used this template, the ready-made template, we can say, And when we fully learn AWS and CloudFormation, we will be able to modify existing template, or we can create our own template. However, if I go on the overview, and as we have seen, it gives us a quick summary, and at this point, as that stack is created, this is the tab is important for us for the time being. Here we have the URL for the services and resources that we have created by creating this stack. So we used a template where we said we need a WordPress blog website. Do everything that you need to create that blog. Now this is in output. We have our external link. Let me click on that link. So once we click on that link, we see that the WordPress installation will start, and obviously this has nothing to do with AWS. This is all about WordPress. You need to know WordPress and how to configure it to create a WordPress website. So for the timing, let's say that the site title I am going to give, let's say, my super computer. Okay. Username, let me keep it as user, and password once again. Let's say this is the password I'm giving, and it is a strong password. I can hide or I can see. So you know the secret. I gave the password, and here you need to specify an email address, and in this case I can use my email address. And since this is a test site, we can discourage search engines from indexing this site, so that's fine. And now we can click on install WordPress. So the WordPress has been installed. We can now log in. So I will give the username, and I will give the password that I have selected. I will log in, and this is my admin dashboard. So we have installed WordPress. Now I will not do anything much here. If you know WordPress, you can just administer your site and you can do whatever you want with your WordPress. I will just log out from here, and I'll close this. So we have installed WordPress. Now let me click on this link for the WordPress blog site that we've created by using this tag once again. Now you will see the website. If you can remember, I gave just the title, my supercomputer. So this is this is how, by using a stack, we can create different sort of services. Here I have created just a simple WordPress blog site. Now it's time for us to clean up this stack, because this is for educational purpose, so I don't need to keep this. And if we don't need to keep any resources, it is always better to clean up to ensure that it does not cost any incur any unexpected cost. So as the last step of this tutorial, I will clean up this stack, which is simple. I'll click on actions and just delete a stack. It will ask for a confirmation. I'll click on yes, delete, and as you can see, the status has been changed. delete in progress. And once the deletion process is done, you will see, since I don't have any more stack, this is the only stack I had, so it will take me back to the screen where it will show that there is no stack, and it will ask us to create a new stack. So we'll go back to the screen where we started this tutorial, and it takes some time to delete the stack, and you can, again, by clicking on events, you can monitor the progress. So once it has been deleted, we will go back to the initial screen where we started creating a stack in this video tutorial. So now after a while, as you can see that I had just one stack, so now it's showing there is no stack on my CloudFormation dashboard. So that is how we can create a stack, and we can create services. Just to show you quickly before we end this tutorial, I'm clicking on create new stack, select a sample template. You have different kind of template: LAMP stack, Ruby on Rails stack, WordPress blog, the one that we used in this tutorial, and also you have some other stacks. You learn more about different templates or different services as you keep going with the tutorials, and there are a lot of templates available on Amazon or AWS website. You can use and modify them, and you can also upload them. So that is how we use CloudFormation to automate tasks, and by automating the task by creating a stack, life becomes easier. Thank you.